look at some common techniques that business analysts and consultants use to analyze and solve business problems. So as a business analyst, you can see that your role is more of looking at things, from an outward point of view, and you're looking at everything that is happening. So from a high level, top down, you're looking at everything that's happening within the business, you're analyzing all of that, and you're solving business problems. So a lot of times your role as a business analyst can be seen in more of a consultant light, whereby you're actually recommending solutions. You're not exactly saying you must do this, but you're recommending the best practice, the best way. So we're going to look at some strategic business analysis techniques that you can use, right, within your role, and that BAs typically use that you can also adopt, in your role or even in your business if you do have a business. So the first is SWOT analysis. SWOT stands for strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. It is a very simple yet powerful technique used by business analysts to analyze both internal and external organizations under analysis. The SWOT analysis can be used personally. I also recommend that you also use it personally, but of course, within the business, we use it to review the internal, which is the strengths and the weaknesses, and the external, which are the threats and opportunities. Basically, all those factors at play within the space that we work at or within our organization. So what are your strengths? The strengths of the business are basically the characteristics of the business or the project that gives it an advantage over others. Some businesses just have that advantage. Maybe it's a first mover advantage. Maybe it is that they are, the desired industry, the desired company in that industry based off of the clients they serve, based off of the quality of their products, quality of their services. Those are their strengths and they can leverage that. Weaknesses as well could be characteristics of the business that place the business or the project at a disadvantage in relation to competitors or projects. Maybe you're entering the market, later than everybody else has been here years ago. Maybe we had a bad, incident. Maybe we had a bad incident and that has affected our company's reputation. So we want to look at all of this. Maybe we're understaffed, and because we're understaffed, we're not able to serve as many people as possible. So we're finding that our customers are going to other competitors. We have to use the SWOT to see what are our strengths, what are our weaknesses, and we find ways to improve. Opportunities are elements in the environment that the business or project could exploit to its advantage. And then, of course, the threats could be the elements in the environment that could cause trouble for the business or the project. So you want to always use SWOT to, analyze and, of course, to stay focused and to also help the business to meet their goals. So we look at strengths. We want to look at how can the group or the business exploit its strength to open up potential opportunities for us. How can we leverage our strength to find new opportunities for us, right? So within strengths and opportunities, we want to see how we can leverage our strengths to find new opportunities, okay? When we look at our weaknesses, we can say, how can we use this opportunity that we have to eliminate this weakness or to mitigate a weakness that we have? Or how does an opportunity warrant for development of new capabilities within our business? So maybe right now we have an opportunity to get maybe funding or investment from an investor. Based off of that investment that we're going to get, maybe that was going to help us to maybe improve our technology, hire more staff, and become a fully capable organization, right? So you want to look at the opportunities and how you can leverage them with the internal strengths and weaknesses. That's internal evaluation. Threats, right? So how can we use our strengths to ward off the threats that we have? And how can those threats be turned into opportunities as well? So we can see within the business that a lot of times the strengths that you have, you can actually use them to ward off the threats. So while there are things that could be threats to your business, maybe, for example, you're new in that industry, and we've seen this happen so many times. We've seen this, in the fintech space with Paystack and Flutterwave and Stripe and PayPal. Banks have been there for years, but these people came in and they dominated. We've seen this also with new tech companies like healthcare apps, logistic apps where you can order. Uber, for example, disrupted the logistics space. You can now use Uber to deliver goods. You can use it to take a lift somewhere. You can also use it to order food, right? We've seen this in the hospitality space with like Airbnb, for example, short-time rentals. They came into this industry and they were able to even still get a large market share when there were still hotels and resorts in existence. So, however, there might be threats, but you can leverage your strengths to actually ward off those threats and turn them into potential, turn them into opportunities as well. And then also your weaknesses. You want to look at how you can, how you can get out of this market, how you can avoid that threat, how you can look at the worst case scenario based on our weaknesses and this threat. What are the things that we can do as a business to ensure that, we're not, we don't lose our market share or we're not running at a loss. So these are the strategies that we start to use as business analysts by trying to leverage the internal and the external environment. So the SWOT analysis is very important as business analysts, and we use that as a strategic, technique every time before we advise the business. We use that. So it is useful in understanding the position of the organization, helps us recommend the capabilities of the organization, and of course, it helps us to build the feasibility of any initiative that we want to work on based off of these analyses. Basically, as BAs, we're going to use these techniques to recommend solutions to the business. So we're going to do an exercise. Apply the SWOT analysis technique to your current organization, right? Answer the question across all the 4 quadrants right now and see how you can apply SWOT within the business. So look at the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats. So basically use the questions in here right now to do this exercise. And we have 5 minutes to get this done.